Hello, listeners. A very warm welcome to Souranshi's new podcast interview. This is your host, Rishabh. Today, we have a very special guest with us who is well known for her creative and innovative designs. Please join me to welcome our guest, Saachi Rana, a well known interior designer and founder of Saachi Marwah Rana Design Studio.
Hi Sachi, I hope you are doing well. Let's begin with your bit of introduction so that our listeners get familiar with you.
Okay. Hi, Rishabh. I'm Saachi Rana this side, and I run a studio called Saachi Rana Design Studio. It is based out of Delhi and Dubai. We are a team of architects and interior designers, and also we are extending our design vertical into bespoke furniture, lighting, and home accessories for now. So we've been working from last 4 to 5 years in this industry. So it is fairly new and old, I would say. We've completed a lot of residential projects, F&B projects. We have done a lot of office spaces. We have done private villas for a lot of our clients, and we are also are into art. Like my mother, my late father have been a national awardee bronze sculptor.
Yeah, I,
So
I read about them last night when I was preparing for this podcast. I
okay.
know that you come from a very creative family. So, is that thing that made you choose this profession for interior designing?
I would say it somewhat influenced my childhood into design. Whenever I used to come back home, there used to be a new piece of art, or there used to be a new piece of furniture in my room. So my house have always been, it has never stayed the same. Every single day there was addition and deletion of one thing. So I think that has influenced my career choices to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
Not for my brother though, but for me definitely, I would say. And I always had interest in design. It was nothing that has been forced on me or something because XYZ person is doing or that way. I had to choose between architecture and interiors, and I think I chose interiors. It was pretty much fun. So
That
yes,
sounds
it
great.
has influenced my career choices for that matter.
Yeah, that sounds great. When you follow your passion, you actually somehow putting less effort, you give your 100% towards your
Yes,
profession.
very true. Very true. I look forward to my other projects. I look forward to, what we are doing in the studio the very next day.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a fun studio from different backgrounds, girls and boys from different backgrounds. Unfortunately, due to Corona, we're trying to work from home
Mm-hmm.
as much as possible. But then we make sure that we have Zoom meetings. We meet once in a week together to discuss and work together and brainstorm stuff because you know how things are happening lately.
I
It
understand.
is, it is so scary.
Yeah, quite scary these days. So, like you told me that each day when you used to return home, you used to see a new crafted piece or a new antique in your house. So, I believe you are comfortable with changes, or is it like quite hard for you to accept a change in your lifestyle?
No, I think I'm quite comfortable to change. It isn't so, that's what our parents taught us to blend in with the surroundings. When in Rome, be like Romans. That's what they say.
Okay.
So, I know it was a difficult transition if you are comparing the change, like how we used to work in studio before and how
Mm-hmm.
we're working now. Of course, there are a lot of changes in terms of that,
Mm-hmm.
with our client meetings, with our site visits, about meeting and our Friday lunches. So I think things have changed to a certain extent, but that safety is very important because
That's true.
I've been infected with Corona. I was infected in Corona in November. It is very difficult. That was the time when we started working online and started doing things online, mostly because I wasn't available for anyone for that long. So I think we're open to change. I think that's the new normal now that we are
Actually,
living.
that's the new
Yeah.
normal transition from real world to virtual world. That's
Yeah,
how.
exactly. True.
So, know that you joined some firms and you worked for some firms, and later on you opened your own design studio, which is Saachi Marwah Rana Design Studio. So, what led
Yeah.
the foundation of this studio?
I think I started working when I was in first year of college. So 5 years of college, I've been interning during my summers,
Hmm.
and I never took a break. It was fun interning with different backgrounds. So I interned and worked with a couple of, say, product designer. They were like interior styling. I did interior styling for Condé Nast Architectural Digest.
Hmm.
So I worked with them as an intern, of course, under seniors. Then I worked under architectural firms. So there was different tangents to where I worked before completing my university, before completing my design college. And after completing of my design college, I was at quite a few prestigious furniture design offices,
Mhm.
and then I was with an architectural studio. I think all this gave me a lot of confidence, I would say, to pursue my own brand and pursue and make a brand out of my designs. That's what led me to open. But it wasn't like a one day decision. It
Okay.
was 5 years of college and then 5 years of working after college. So I would say it almost took me a decade to decide to open my design studio
So
because
in these years, the best part was that you took experience from every part of this interior designing and
yes,
architecting, and then you clubbed that
yes.
together and you opened your own design studio, right?
True. I've had the best bosses. I've had the weirdest bosses. I've had the most toxic bosses ever with the toxic working hours. But yes, that led me to understand the business in design because that's what, design colleges don't teach you that much about having how to have a business
Exactly, exactly. So I believe that after working with all those toxic and
and the best, I would say.
that sounds great, and that comes with the experience only when you know that how you feel working with such kind of people. So you try to improvise yourself so that the subordinates to you doesn't feel the same like you did.
Yes, of course. I'm more empathetic towards them now when I know what I felt and what I went through when all these things were happening to me. But my last workplace where I opened before I opened my own studio, that was amazing architectural firm that has taught me a lot of things. There were goods and there was bads. Again, all pros and cons before opening the studio. So I
Okay.
try. I'm sure I won't say that I'm the best boss, I would say, but I try to be more empathetic towards my employees, for that matter, when it comes to work.
That's
Yeah.
really nice. That's really nice. Sachi, if we talk about your initial entrepreneurship, so you might have faced certain challenges with respect to personal life as well as professional life because you simply stepped into entrepreneurship. Before that, you were working for some firm. So, what were those challenges and how did you cope up with them?
I would say that wasn't very easy for me. I did not give up taking help from the seniors. I would not shy away from going back to my, ex colleagues or my mentors or my tutors before and just ask them like how, when, and why. So it wasn't like now I run a business, so I can't go back to them because I used to just take my notes and understand if that is the thing that I'm doing right or wrong. I'm actually in touch with a lot of my employees and ex-colleagues, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
and my seniors from back in college or the places where I used to work from. It was a difficult challenge because being a girl of certain age also, they don't take you seriously, a lot of people
I
in the
understand.
industry.
Yeah, they don't take
Yeah,
seriously that.
until unless
Yeah,
because I remember
even
taking a
experience
client.
comes in the picture. They say that I don't think you have a lot of experience or things like that.
Yeah, yeah. So initially, I remember taking my first or second project, and they asked like, "Are you sure? Will you be able to do it? Are you
Exactly.
sure? Like, who's gonna help you and stuff like that and all." And I think it was a difficult thing, and also like laborers taking you seriously because we take a lot of turnkey projects and have to be on the site and work with the laborers. And for them also, they don't take you seriously. Initially, I'm talking about. Now we are pretty much there, so I felt bad. I felt about giving up and stuff, but I think that's a part of the process. I've realized I think everyone has to go through that thing and overcome this situation and not give up or not think about giving up that time. So it was little off initially, and then you don't even break even with your projects. You get less money. Sometimes you don't even get your money. Sometimes you have to fight for your money, and how sophisticatedly can you fight for your money is the thing. So there are a lot of things that you have to go through. Then we did couple of pro bono cases. Like I would say that we've not charged for it initially.
Mm-hmm.
I think the clients would come to us and say it's an obligation to us to give us that sort of project. So that's the mistake that I've done. I think I shouldn't have I should have charged for my services. I should have charged for my experience of 5 years and 5 years of design college. But I think that's a part of process. I would just say you will learn it eventually. You will learn it.
Yes, exactly, Sachi. Is there any of your favorite interior designer who you think is your role model and whom you follow, and the reason behind it?
I think I was always fascinated by different people from different profession. I would not say it was just an interior designer. I had architects that I used to look forward to and their work. I used to do parties for their projects. So, as far as interior designer was concerned, there is an interior designer that I've been following since college. I would say it is Kelly Wessler. And I really like how bold she was because,
Mm-hmm.
I think the problem that we face is that we stereotype our designs to certain thing, that this is our design, that this is the kind of look that we create, and we stick to it for life. But I think getting out in the market, being bold in the market, and doing things won't harm. I think that's what I liked from Kelly Wessler.
Mm-hmm.
For real, like I really enjoyed seeing her work, going bold and having eclectic. There were prints on prints. There were these bold patterns that was coming in. There were pieces of furniture which was not very functional but very aesthetic, and vice versa. I would say that I look forward to her work for real. I used to open her websites now and then and just see what's up and what's happening and what new is she creating. I follow her on Instagram, so I keep a track of her work. So that she's one of my favorite, I would say.
So, Sachi, haven't you tried taking up some time to work with her just for some experience since she's your role model? So,
No, she's not based out of India.
uh,
I've never tried doing that, but no, I've never, I would say.
so in future, if you get a chance to take out some time and work with her on any specific project, how will that be? Will you enjoy it?
Without a doubt, that would be that would be superb. I would love to see how is she as a person. I don't even know how is she as a person and how is she in the studio and stuff. So I would love to take that sort of experience in for real.
So, whenever you get a new project, what is your initial approach? How do you kick in with the work? How do you plan things? How do you talk to your customer? How do you get things out of customers so that you know what is their taste and how can you improvise with your creativity?
See, lately, because of COVID and everything, I try. So whenever I get a query on my website and
Mm-hmm.
on anywhere on my social media or anywhere, I make sure that I'm the person who's interacting with the client
Okay.
to make it more personal because they've approached me for work. I do not want my colleagues or my subordinates or my employees to have a word with them because I think they've approached me and they would want me on board first thing first.
Mm-hmm.
So I make sure that it is a personal chat that we do, an icebreaker. Lately, we try and get all the pictures, all the data that the client have
Mm-hmm.
from their end. They have the pictures, they have the videos of that space. If they can send, a blueprint if they have, or anything of that sort. So we try to get as much data as the client can provide it to us,
Mm-hmm.
and then we take it forward. We try to understand their taste by having a chat on the phone, or if ever it's very important have to meet. So that's how we go about it. There's no particular process that we follow to know
Okay.
and how. Yeah, so we try to keep it more personal, and as the client feel more better to open up and tell us more about the projects and how. So every client has an individual way of icebreaker, I would say. So it's not a process that we follow.
Okay. So if you talk about any project, so when a project is ongoing, so there must be certain cases where clients get adamant or client is not ready to accept the change. So in that scenario, how do you like convince them or how do you take up that situation?
Okay, so yes, we have faced a lot of issues like that. We give a client their sort of space for that matter because eventually they are the people who have to live in that space. We try and convince them. We try and give them options, and I think Touchwood have not been facing a lot of problem with this lately.
Mm-hmm.
We come in a middle ground for sure. If not A and B, then we come to a middle ground for sure. I think I'm good at convincing, I would say, when it comes to this thing. I haven't faced a lot of problem with the client like that because eventually they've hired us to do our work, right? And if they trust us with the things that we say and recommend, I think it's a better for the clientele itself.
Exactly, exactly. So I'll take that trust as a like key trait in your business, right?
Absolutely, yeah. They have to give us space, and they have to trust us if they've hired us and doing that. So
Okay. So while doing a project, so there might be another scenarios like where you think that you have to go with your instinct rather than the defined plan. So is there any sort of scenarios you would like to share with us?
yeah, I think a lot of times, yeah, there are a lot of impromptu things that even clients ask us even at the site. So there are a lot of decisions which are taken on the site as well.
Okay.
So, when we start a process, the textbook process that we have about mood board, material boards, and you have your 3Ds ready and stuff. But if a blue has to go somewhere at which which looks nicer in that wall, it has to go.
Okay.
So there are certain things that we take decision on site with the client.
Mhm.
We are very flexible with that situation. It is not a problem. I think it is a design process in itself. You can't be very rigid about having a certain thing, or if you made a choice 10 days ago and it has to stick around, because sometimes the project goes on for 6 months, 1 year. I would say, so it goes on for a very, very long time. So there's certain evolvement, and I would say that comes in a project over a period of time.
How often do you visit site for that purpose?
How often do I visit site? I try to visit site as much as possible.
Okay.
Whenever it's required, however it's required, even for a small thing, I try and visit sites. But then that's the thing, due to Corona, we are trying to avoid as much as possible. Now we're trying to, we're asking clients to trust us even if we are not at the site. It's not, sometimes it's not
Mhm.
very necessary. And sometimes, you just have to be there to convince them for one pending decision and stuff like that. So we are trying to not send my employees, my colleagues to the site,
Okay.
to avoid a lot of interaction, you see. So right now, I think it's going fine. It's not getting a lot of problem. I think we're getting used to this whole virtual world now.
Yeah, and I believe that clients are also getting comfortable with
They are,
like
actually they are.
yeah.
They're also comfortable about having these virtual meets, for sure.
Mhm. Sachi, tell us about your favorite project you have worked in the past, which have got some impression on your mind.
My favorite project,
Hmm.
I would say I enjoy all my projects. I would not say that I'll pick up one project that is fun or something. I think I try to add fun as much as possible in every project, even in the smallest project that we are doing in different cities, in different part of the country. Um, I would say that I do not want to categorize one project as my favorite. Doing a residential space has its own charm. I enjoy doing a lot of F&B spaces. I personally enjoy doing restaurants because you can go as berserk as you want with your ideas.
Exactly.
And yeah, so these days the office space are also not like the typical boring office spaces that we
Mhm.
used to have. The clients surprisingly are very open to ideas when it comes to doing a funky office space or with a touch of drama. So I love all my projects, to be honest. Like, I put my heart and soul in those projects. And um, and actually the whole process becomes more fun when you have to, when you have three parallel projects of different designs
Mhm.
are happening, and you have to put your mind in that. Sometimes it is very minimal, and then suddenly you have to switch to another project which is a very full of drama. So I think this transition is damn fun. It's very good fun.
Is there any upcoming project which is keeping you engaged or excited?
Yes, so we have a lot of projects which are going on already. The work is a bit slow. I would say it's that slow
Mhm.
than the usual one, because the process is taking more time. Being online, being not on site, being not be able to meet a lot of people or employees and clients to that extent. So it is a tad slow than usual, but we are doing a couple of residential projects. We are doing a lot of uh, office spaces right now. And
Mhm.
also we are extending our vertical to bespoke furniture. So we're designing a range of furniture that we're trying to launch. It's called Mezzo Archangels. So this is the first time we are actually coming with a line of furniture. We have designed furniture for the clients initially. We've done it in our past. We do it for a lot of our projects, but this is a sole, I would say, a furniture line that we're trying to develop, bringing the parametric architecture into interiors for that matter.
Sachi, who has inspired you the most in your life?
Who was inspired? Yeah, so I would say, uh, I know it'll sound very cliche, but it is definitely my father. I've seen him getting into business when I was a kid. I saw him working on art and his work. He had this metal finishing
Mhm.
factory. We're still running it. So I think as a kid, even during my design colleges, he used to help me with my work a lot of times. So he was an architect by profession, but he never pursued it. So he helped me with my drafting, and I would say he helped me with my, the painful technical drawings. And you have fun during design college in creating or in inventing things. I think he was a part of my process while growing up and becoming who I became today. Sometimes I come up with such a complex design and I don't know how to do it. I used to look forward to sit with him and have a word with him and understand, know, and how to. So I think he's been a very important part in my life, and also as a designer for that matter.
So I would say you have learned a lot from your father and your mother.
Oh yeah, I've learned a lot. He
Mhm.
taught me hand finished patina finishes, how to make that.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot about technicals, how to. I think he's been one of my mentor, I would say.
I would say that creativity is something in your blood and it's not something that you have like achieved after so many experiences. So I'll say it's something inherited to you, the art and the creativity that you are following in your profession.
Yeah, I think I would say that to I would say a yes to what you said right now. I would all say that. Yes, it's been a part of my childhood till growing up. For I think it's been a part of my life for very long now. So taking design out of me and vice versa is not possible for that matter.
All right, all right. Sachi, now we have a short rapid fire round. So it will be in two parts. One would be I'll giving you two options and you have to select one. And the second part will be I'll give you one word and whatever comes to your mind, just let us know. So are you
Okay.
ready for this?
So I have to say a word that comes into my mind.
That
Uh,
will be part two. For part one, I'll give you two options. You just have to select one,
okay.
your
Perfect.
favorite.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
shall we start?
Yeah. Sure.
All right. So India or Dubai?
Dubai.
Mountains or beaches?
Beaches.
Netflix or nightlife?
Netflix.
Smart work or hard work?
Smart work. Definitely smart work.
Crazy. Adventure or relaxing trips?
Adventures.
Okay. Conventional or modern design?
Conventional.
So that sums up with our part one of rapid fire. So let's move ahead with the part two. So
Okay.
now I'll give you one word. Whatever comes to your mind, just let us know. So shall we
Okay.
start?
Sure.
Okay. Fashion,
Design.
home,
Beaches.
food,
Thai.
nightmare,
Deadlines.
lifestyle,
Happy.
travel,
All over. All over the world.
friendship,
Loyalty.
first job,
Disaster.
COVID,
New normal.
celebrity crush.
Oh. Okay. I would say Tom Cruise.
Oh, that's nice. Before summing up our podcast interview, I have a couple of questions for you.
Sure.
Any advice or Sachi's mantra for our listeners who wish to take up interior designing as a career?
I think a lot of kids have been asking me the same thing, like, what is a one design tip and all. I would say that there are no design tips. Just don't be afraid to, get into design. And especially once you know that there is no right and wrongs in design. I would definitely say there are no wrongs. They're personal choices, I would say.
Mhm.
But unlike any other profession, when you take, they're always with a rule book. But design never comes with a rule book. So it is the most fun profession you can ever take, apart from technical how to, of course.
Mhm.
But know your softwares, and there are no rights and wrongs. Do not give up in the middle, because people tend to give up in the middle. In the middle of the process, in the middle of the design studies. So do not give up. Just just do it, and create, I would say.
That's quite interesting, and that's a thoughtful answer from you. The last but not the least question for today would be how was your experience with Soranshi?
So I think it was a wonderful experience. I still don't remember how and when, I got in touch with you,
Mhm.
but it's been a very nice and polite experience, I would say. There are no, there are no in this situation. So it was a wonderful experience.
Your response has made us overwhelmed, and thank you so much, Sachi, for such a wonderful response. And I hope we take this relationship forward with Saachi Marwah Rana Design Studio and Souranshi.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sure.
And it was
That was,
really a pleasure talking to you. And we got a lot of insight about how you work. When do you take up your instinct rather than defiance like that? We are so excited to release this podcast interview. Thank you
yeah,
so
I
much.
was quite nervous doing this because this is my apparently the first podcast. I think I hope it's not as boring. I wasn't very boring in this situation, I would say.
No, no, that was really interesting, and your responses were really wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rishabh. It was so nice talking to you.
Same here. Bye bye.
Bye.
So, friends, this was Sachi Rana. I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode as much as I did and also find it helpful and informative. We would be glad to hear from you, so please share your views in the comment section. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon so that you don't miss out anything from us. Please visit our website www.soranshi.com to read the most amazing stuff on lifestyle and fashion. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and do check the description box for more information. Stay tuned till the next episode of Soranshi's podcast interview. Thank you. Bye bye.